So what you can do is participate in the healing. You can fall asleep, or you can just set this to the side while you take care of yourself on that nightly basis. And by set it to the side, I mean just like playing in the background, because gotta keep going. And just focus on something that is actually important to you and helpful in your self-care journey. So welcome, welcome, welcome to all my new babies. And welcome, welcome back, all my returning babies. Mama loves you. So, I feel like I missed something. Did I say blossom or bloom? We're here to blossom and or bloom, support each other, inclusive, loving, understanding, healthy boundaries, exploratory, blah, 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 blah. This goes on and on. So today we have a special healing session, and it's all about healing negative self-talk, okay? So if you're new to the community, we start the session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay. May I touch you? Okay. You ready? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So, just kind of getting your energy ready here. And what I want you to focus on is this feeling of what we say to ourselves when we are by ourselves. So these are things that we can easily hide from others. We can act or have a big talk a big game on the outside of how we feel on the inside. But we are the only ones who are responsible for how we feel on the inside. We're the only ones who can be honest with ourselves and what that is and how that's showing up. So this session is about kind of freeing up the space, the clutter, just cleansing out, making room. So there's no need to overly criticize yourself. There's no need to go in, and when you feel like everything else in the world is just out of your control, the one thing you can't control is, criticizing yourself. No. What this is about is understanding that you can co-create whatever you want. Whatever you want out here in the world, whatever is your purpose of why you incarnated into this experience, you can co-create. And as time goes by, you'll be more and more empowered to be able to do that. Just aging in life will let you know, like, you stop caring about, as much what other people think or something like that. But right now, in order to align you on your path, it is really important that you let go. And this means you gotta release the karmic baggage and release the energetic baggage that you may be carrying from just interacting with your environment and the world. That's expectations, that's obligations, that's responsibilities that have nothing to do with you or your mission, and which other people place on you. A lot of people as well, especially those who are younger, they're very empathic. And the older you get and the more disconnected you get, people will turn off that empathy in order to survive in a toxic environment. But when children come into it and then you come of age and you're very empathetic and you're very open, everything, just going to work, just walking around the block, everything, just opening up the phone can be very, very taxing. So what we're doing now is we're going to cleanse that all out, create space, and space on the outside is boundaries. Give you the ability to say yes what you want to say, or no when you don't, want something, and to follow your heart and to validate that, and just take it easy, okay? that's your business. You got to figure that out. And whatever that is, I want you to start connecting it and bringing that energy into this space, into this moment. And what the energy feels like is unconditional love. It is a love bigger than anything you've ever experienced before. So bringing that down and just pulling out any of the old stuff that you no longer need, the stuff that belongs to somebody else. And the reason why this happens is because sometimes people are so connected to the collective, they have a hard time separating themselves out of it. So what they are experiencing on an individual level becomes merged in what is happening on the systemic level. A lot of that has to do with, of course, we have faster communication. We're more connected all around the world. And so we have these strong reactions, responses, and a sense of connectedness to those that are around us at all time. But it's happening so quickly that our body hasn't really caught up to how to manage all of this influx of information and energy and things like that. But what you have to do is you have to start exerting boundaries. And the boundaries is you decide what you want to engage in. When you want to engage in things, you also have to make a decision of, okay, I gotta fill myself up and then I'm ready to be in this space in the world. A lot of times people will see a lot of things that pain them, and it hurts so much that they don't feel like they deserve to have self-care with all that is going on in the world. And that is probably the worst thing you can do. And the reason why that is the worst thing you can do is because if you see a problem in the world and you want to go out and help and solve it, first thing you must remember is you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So just choose one thing and just start to, make progress towards it. The second thing is, if you're not good, you cannot be good for anyone else. So meaning if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of anybody else. So if you see someone else suffering and you're suffering too, you need to put on your life vest first. You need to put your oxygen mask on first, because what ends up happening when on an energetic level, when someone tries to go save someone or help somebody and they're suffering and they see that other person suffering, it actually creates a toxic codependent relationship. No, you gotta take care of yourself first. And so when you go to help others, you can just give freely without expectations and know that your needs are met. So aligning your energy to that, moving that through, and just exhale. Every time you exhale, just release more, release all the tension. Just let it go. You don't have to hold on to it. You don't have to be obligated to everyone and everything and whatever pops up. It is okay to be a really loving person, connected, and sometimes just in your head be like, I don't give a fuck about this. and just put that in the back. You may not tell other people that, but just put that in the back of your head, because you got to take care of yourself, and that's a part of the journey here. Babies, I gotta tell you all these times where I say no, and I see the potential of a lot of things too. I'm like, oh, okay, this is beautiful, this is a great idea. But I also know that as I am curating a space, time is finite. This is a lovely space for us to come together and for us to grow in our own individual ways, however you want to participate in that. But I am also a person too. So I have my own, things that I like to do, the Reiki healing hope versus the actual jet lachey. And the thing is with that, I am not myself first. So I appreciate this moment. I'm dedicated. I will come back over and over again, but I would not be able to share this space if I didn't take care of myself first. That's number one. So I'm trying to give you, an understanding that it is not, you have to be indebted to the things that you love or the pursuits that you want to do. You don't have to be so available to everything that you want at all times. When you're building it, what you should do is just practice healthy boundaries in the things that you love. Practice healthy boundaries and just consistency and coming back and positive validation. This will help what's going on inside. So breathing in here, exhaling, relaxing into this space. Does it make sense? I hope it makes sense. Just inhaling and exhaling. So in this moment, just allow everything to just cleanse over you and to release. At any moment in the journey, you can let go of other people's baggage and just say, look, I gotta work on myself. And what you'll notice is that the moment that you truly give yourself that permission, because what people are doing is they're seeking that outside of themselves, and then they're granting themselves permission. No, you can do that right now. But it's also a very mature thing to do, and not everybody is ready to do that, because y'all heard me talk about this time and time again. When you say no to what is not working and yes to what you want to work as you're co-creating and building this new life, you also have to say goodbye to people, situations, and circumstances. I've been saying that since we started all of 2019, 2021, 21, and now 2022. People, situations, and circumstances. That means you gotta let that go too. And honestly, you'll probably heal faster if you let it go. If you let go of those situations and embrace people, situations, and circumstances that are vibrating at the energy level you actually want to be on. Embrace that, lean into that. For this one person that you may not want to, let go, there are like 3 or 4 other people who are in even more fuller experience with healthier boundaries and things like that. But you'll never be able to get to these people unless you stop that. Or if it's in relationships, you're holding on to the love of one person because you loved them deeply. But just because you love someone deeply does not mean that it is an appropriate type of love. Codependency is a deep love. And the younger that we are, we just think, oh, it's deep, so that's what matters. No, sometimes you might want to, become a little bit, raise it up a little bit more shallow in love, because the deep love is not, I want to come here and I want to solve all your problems and I want to work through all your life problems with you. No, it's, I ain't got time to do none of that. I gotta work through my life problems. You working through your life problems. But together, when we come together, we can enjoy life. I take responsibility for the things that I need to do. You take responsibility for the things you need to do on an internal, energetic level. But when we come together, we're just gonna bring the best of each other. That is the difference. So we'll hold on to something deep and say that that's love. When what does love got to do with it? Is it the type of love you actually want? We have so many versions of love, but let's have healthy dynamics, and that goes for any of your interpersonal relationships with your family, with your friends, those one-on-ones. And finally, your connection to the universe, source, or God, or the divine, whatever, your culture, your ancestors, your traditions, whatever that is for you. Having to have a very, very, very strong connection there. And also, you cannot let that connection be defined by other people, even if they're in your same faith, even if they're walking a similar path. You have to be active in that relationship, whatever that relationship is. That's your business. I tell you that all the time. Whatever that relationship the soul is living out its mission. You get to decide what that mission is. And there's, twists and turns. Things aren't linear. But when you have those deep connections right there, that's when you'll be very sweet to yourself. That's when you start to be the nicest to yourself. That's actually when you attract the type of love you're really looking for. Because we are a demonstration externally and internally of how others should treat us. So internally, if we're loving and we're sweet to ourselves, externally it might look like, oh wow, they're being mean, they don't want to hang out anymore, or they don't love me anymore, they're not doing things that they said that they would do, or they don't care about me. Don't let family members guilt trip you. They don't care about me because they don't show up in the way that they used to show up. However, that's looking externally. That ain't got nothing to do with you. What you need to do is make sure that you are healing on the inside. And what you can do for others, you start to do after you've filled yourself up. We have to reverse what has been taught to us, because these dynamics do not work for us long term. It leads to long-term issues, long-term health-related issues, overall just melancholy in life. And if we really want to change the vibrational frequency of the world, the quickest way to do it is if we all just work on our individual selves. And a part of working on our individual selves is allowing whatever purpose we're put here to do to live out. And you already know that. You already have dreams and goals that you've probably told yourself you can't do. That's it. That's your life purpose. And if you finally get the courage to chase that, once you accomplish that, you'll have new goals. So if you have something in your heart, regardless of if it's realistic or not, you got to chase that. That's part of your soul's work. And the more that you deny yourself, the more in kind of like a spiral it goes in that negative self-talk. And I know a lot of people want to be famous. I'm just gonna put it like that. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. A lot of people want to be famous. They want to be musicians. They want to be actors. They want to be in entertainment. They want to be, all of these things, right? Understand that public validation does not equate to private validation or internal validation. Now, whatever area that you're going into, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be known for being good at it. There's nothing wrong, honestly, with, taking up space and people knowing who you are. But the benchmark is not, do other people know you? The benchmark is, do I feel good about myself? And am I creating an environment in which other people feel good about themselves, and allowing that network to grow, in which we're all learning from